this cycle, at the end of the 2011 March cycle, to have provided opportunities for up to 150,000 children and young people. That's remarkable. And I'm so proud of the work that you've done, collectively through the CSIC membership and through the coordinators. A remarkable achievement. So well done to all of you. Do I stop for a quick question? And 3, international. And international means Wales and Scotland, unfortunately. However, up there, and Tanzania. Now, I don't know how that one arrived. It was, they found us, they contacted us and said, we'd like to become CSIC members. And I said, yeah, that's fine, but you can't vote, because you're not in England. And they said, that's okay. We're still really interested in what you're trying to do. So, welcome to the family. What's interesting is, out of that group of 103, we have a very diverse mix, and I think that's represented in this room here. We have organisations such as the RNLI and the Electrical Safety Council that have a national footprint. What they say influences every county, village, child in this country of England. And with your organisations, it's much broader, I understand that. We have 20 significant regional organisations. That is, they have a responsibility for the whole of the region they're in. Staffordshire Fire and Rescue, Gloucestershire Fire and Rescue. It's really pleasing to see the way in which our mix is, it creates tensions, because we've got organisations who are from the private sector, no less, and there is an interesting tension there. But I think within CSEP there's a place where we can work out those tensions. What are the benefits that an organisation with a national footprint has that can be shared with an organisation that's quick on their feet, nimble, a private organisation that can respond really quickly, have different views of the way things happen, and maybe the way in which we're going to have to work in future. Some of the experience from our commercial members will be really useful for some organisations that are perhaps not quite familiar and have been exposed to some of the pressures and tensions that gives us. So I'm really, really pleased with the diversity of our membership, and it's reflected happily in the elected steering committee that's supporting CSEP. We're operating pretty much all over the place. The CSEP membership as such is banded, and it just happens this way. I have plotted where our members come from. Their bases are in 3 key areas, and because we're where we are, I'll also include Bristol in that, because there are 5 or 6 member organisations from Bristol, and that's quite interesting, that is. Liverpool to Hull, right across that swathe, across the north, we have a concentration of organisations interested in unintended injuries to children and young people. The West Midlands and London. What we haven't got is sufficient presence out of those 3 areas. And Irene is setting up a series of workshop seminars, regional ones, and we're inviting local authorities, parent-teacher associations, adventurous organisations, clubs, those people and organisations that in an informal but structured way have access to children and young people. And our first one's going to be in Bristol on the
20th of July.
20th of July, at the Create Centre where Life Skills is based. And we're going to do that so that we can take our message to areas where we are not yet represented, where they are not represented within CSEP. That's going to be an active drive for us. And then, again, another good thing that I think that we are following up. I, surprisingly, have got to the end of my notes. We're almost on time. So, I don't believe it. I know.
There must be another page there.
Well, I think somebody's actually ripped them out. 1 or 2 stubs there. It's a bit like my checkbook. There's loads of empty ones in there. I hope the informal approach that I've just provided is one which has set the scene for the day. It is important that my reports are formalised, and I apologise again for not having that formal document to give to you after the end of this discussion, so that you can frame questions to me about things that I've said and things that I haven't said. My job is to try with my team and with the steering committee to put into practice your good work. And where we don't have an agreement about something, to work out what that agreement should be. So that we stop inventing the wheel to some extent. Because there are a hell of a lot of wheels around. And they can't all go on the wagon at the same time. If we can find a way of developing something that we know works, is evidence-based, and share it, in a time of financial restrictions, if we can save some of you inventing something and investing time, effort and any energy into something that is already proven, then you can concentrate on delivering rather than developing. Thank you. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks very much. If I could ask Cassius to please take the floor as far as the coordinator briefs are concerned. Just before Cassius starts, just an apologies for Simon. I didn't make an initial introduction to Simon Khan, just at the back there, who's also joining us from the Department for Education today. Welcome.
Good morning, folks. I've been asked to provide a 10-minute whistle-stop, really, of the different projects that the coordinators have been involved in. I have a confession to make, because there is a gate crasher who is with us this morning. So Irene, please don't film Suna, who is at the back of the room. Most of you will know that I work part-time for Csec and part-time for ROSPA. One of the things that I do as part of my ROSPA role is have young people coming on placement, and Suna is with us today on placement from her school. Just wave so that people know who you are. So if she comes to ask you some embarrassing questions later, that's because I've said that. Just in getting here this morning, I was looking out over Clifton Bridge, and it made me think that if Brunel had been concerned about not wanting to do something risky, that things like that bridge and the massive ship that he built would never have happened. And actually what's really important for me about Csec is, yes, making sure that our children and young people grow up understanding about how to take care of themselves and each other, but also about how to take a risk, how to challenge themselves. Next slide, please. Okay, what you will gather from these slides, sorry Johnny, from standing in the way. Have you seen them? Harvey did pre-warn me. I asked each of the coordinators to provide me with one slide of information just to give a summary of their projects. And as you will see, some of our team members like me are very modest, and Christine, who's sitting at the back, and others, who I won't name, are slightly more big-headed and provided a number of slides. This is the first project that Christine's working on. If you don't know Christine, she's sitting at the back there. One of the things that I like about this project is the transferability that I think is really important in working with young people and encourage them to think about the natural environment, yes, but also how to make a risk assessment from a young age and transfer that to different environments and situations. I think I can't do justice to all of the projects in a short time, so if in the breaks you want to find out more,